Welcome to the last week of the course, Putting It All Together. During this course, we have covered several topics within retail transportation and logistics. These topics included domestic transportation, international and global logistics, import-export, warehousing and inventory, technology, outsourcing, and negotiating. Let's briefly review what we discussed in each of the weeks to give you a quick refresher before completing the final essay. During the first week, we defined retail transportation and domestic transportation. Retail transportation is the movement of goods, products, or materials from a point of origin to a destination point for the purpose of supplying the marketplace with the goods, products, or materials for consumer use. We also discussed the modes of domestic transportation to include over-the-road or ground transportation, intermodal, and air transport. During the second week, we explored international and global logistics. We discussed ocean and air transportation, Incoterms, and the various rules and regulations associated with international trade. In week 3, we identified and assessed the import and export process for both the United States and foreign governments to include the necessary documents needed in these types of shipments. We also defined and discussed the role of a customs broker. Next, in week 4, we discussed warehousing and inventory management. We discussed warehousing and its multitude of functions, as well as site selection, design, layout, and operations. We also discussed inventory management, in which we discussed topics such as types of inventory, inventory value, and inventory control. Remember that types of inventory include raw materials, work in progress, and finished goods, while inventory value includes FIFO, LIFO, average cost, actual cost, and standard cost. Inventory control includes 3 primary approaches: cyclical ordering system, order point or fixed order quantity system, and materials requirement planning, or MRP. Now in week 5, we identified and discussed advances in technology within the transportation and logistics field. The topics of discussion were EDI, Auto ID, RFID, and types of software applications such as transportation management systems, warehouse management systems, and event management systems. Next, we discussed outsourcing processes and services. Remember, we said that outsourcing was to procure or contract parts of your services to an outside supplier. These companies are called 3PLs or 4PLs and provide services such as warehousing, transportation, order management, and freight forwarding. This brings us to the last week, when we explored and examined various strategies, tactics, and tips in negotiating contracts, bids, or deals with customers, suppliers, and shippers. We also discussed the different attributes, skills, and abilities of a good negotiator. So now we are in the final week of the course when we bring all of these topics, concepts, terminology, processes, strategies, and tips together. This final week, you will complete a final essay. In this final paper submission, you need to think about all of the topics covered within the course and integrate some of these concepts into your final essay. You can find more information on this week's requirements in the online classroom or syllabus.